Okay. Um, I bless my heart. I don't know how to say her last name.
Which one?
Nyamiro.
Elizabeth's last name.
Yeah,
Elizabeth. Oh,
Elizabeth. Yeah,
some,
because
yeah.
she is from Zimbabwe.
Oh, okay.
How do you? Is it Zambian? Is that how you pronounce that?
Zimbabwean. Like you have to pronounce the W.
But when it says like, so you're from the United States of America, you're American. It says it's Zambian. So is it Zambian?
Oh, okay, Zambian. Then she's from Zambia then. Because there's Zambia and then there's Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
Oh. Her mother was a Zambian mother, or she was born to a Zambian mother and is one of four children, and she was raised by her grandmother in a village in Zimbabwe.
Oh, okay.
So if she's Zambian, what country, if the mother is, what country is that?
Zambia.
That is a country?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought they were like the two of them were related.
Mm. They're both in the south, southern part of Africa, I think.
Yeah. I've heard of Zimbabwe before, but I've never heard of the other one.
Mm. Oh, that's her?
I can't even locate where all the states are on the United States map,
I'm really bad at that.
unfortunately. So
My brother was like quizzing me the other day and he just brought up like a general map of the world and was just like, do you know where, Spain is? And do you know where this is? And I'm like, I can tell
no,
you what side of the map it's on.
Mm-hmm.
it's
Tell me
hard
to point there. I'm
to remember since
horrible.
I've learned since like seventh grade.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say, I think I took a geography class like my freshman year and it was of the United States. So I can tell you like the general area. I can show you where Texas is and California.
Right? Oh yeah, I'm good with the east and west coast, and then the northern part of the U.S., and then the southern. The middle parts, it's hard, but I can name some states, but no. Europe, yeah.
No.
Asia, yeah. South
I
America.
could not even show you where Asia is on a map. Like,
Where Asia
Asia,
is?
Asia is
yeah.
next to Europe and next to America, like on the other side.
I know continents, I just don't know
No,
countries.
oh
No,
yeah.
I'm really, really bad. It's so sad. I told my mom, I'm like, when I finish my bachelor's degree, I'm gonna go back to community college and take a geography class because I feel like I owe it to the rest of the world. It's just not something that I ever had to take, like in college.
Yeah.
So I, you know, um, I can recite the preamble. Does that count?
I don't remember that either.
I had to write a huge paper on it, so I had to like dissect each sentence. Okay. Shall we talk about Malala?
Sure.
Malala.
Malala. I like her name.
Yeah, I like her name too.
Me too. I still need to watch the movie.
There's a movie.
Yeah. Didn't
Yeah, I think they have a movie on her.
they made a movie after the book? Yeah, he named me Malala.
I Is it on Netflix, I wonder? I'm gonna watch that.
I think so. It came out in 2015. It's a documentary. It was really popular.
I'm gonna have to try that. Watch it.
How old is she now?
She was born in 97, so I was born in 94. I'm will be 24 this
So
year,
she's
so
20,
two. Oh no. Just
2007.
kidding.
Yeah,
20 or
she's
21.
Yeah. July. She just turned 20 this year in July.
oh, okay.
That's crazy.
I was just trying to see. I know that have you ever gone to the malala.org?
I haven't, but I'll pull it up right now.
They usually do like updates like of like what she's doing currently, like where she is.
Oh, that's cool.
Um, oh yeah, hashtag today is Giving Tuesday.
I like that. And then she like has pictures of different girls that are out doing things.
Yeah. I like how it says, well, I don't like that it says it, but it states more than 130 million girls are out of school. Donate today to make it zero.
Yeah. That's cool. We're just supposed to talk about her
Yeah.
more.
Um, she currently lives in the UK with her family.
Oh, they eventually moved to the UK then.
hmm
Was it after her surgery?
I am not positive. It just says that she's currently living in the UK with her family.
Because I know when she got shot, they had to airlift her to Europe
Yeah,
to have the surgery.
she was what, 15 when that happened?
Um, yeah.
Their priority countries are Pakistan, Afghanistan, India, Nigeria, and countries housing Syrian refugees, which is like Lebanon and Jordan.
Wait, and then she's in college right now, right?
I believe so, yes.
Wow.
At Oxford.
Wow.
That's probably why they're living in the UK.
It says before beginning university, Malala traveled to North America, the Middle East, Africa, and Latin America on her girl power trip. I like that they called it that.
That's very clever. She must have, oh yeah, well, because it says January 2013, after multiple surgeries and months of rehabilitation, Malala is discharged from the hospital and rejoins her family at home in Birmingham, UK.
Mm-hmm. She was actually also given a Canadian citizenship earlier this
I
year.
did hear about
Mm-hmm.
that, yeah.
Interesting.
Wow. She's the sixth person and the youngest in the country's history to receive that honor.
hmm
Where does it say that?
On her biography. Reading on the other awards. In
Okay.
October, acknowledgement of her work in the European Parliament awarded Yusuf Malala, I'll say Malala, at the Sakharov Prize for Freedom of Thought
Um,
in April 2017.
July 2014, when the mass kidnappings of schoolgirls by the terrorist group, they're calling it Boko Haram.
Boko
Yeah.
Haram in Nigeria.
Yeah, so on her 17th birthday, she traveled to Nigeria to meet with the families of the victims to add
Oh,
her
wow.
voice to the outcry demanding for their safe return.
Oh,
It's
she
pretty,
is brave.
she's very brave.
Yeah, such a young age.
And then on her 18th birthday, she traveled to Syria Oh, she traveled to Syria and opened this a secondary school for Syrian refugees girls in Lebanon's Bekaa Valley.
Oh wow.
She's like all over the place. It's
She
I
crazy.
is. She
know.
just traveling everywhere.
Oh, and
Oh
then
yeah.
that
He named me
she's
Malala. There it is. It came out in 2015. he he brought the story to audiences in 175 countries and 11 languages.
Wow.
That's pretty impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it seems like she does everything on her birthday. She's
I
spending her 19th birthday meeting with refugee girls living in, ooh, I don't know how to say that one. Dadaab, Dadaab, and Kakuma camps in Kenya and Mahama camp in Rwanda.
well, I mean, she's a pretty extraordinary person. It's kind of cool to see what she's done at
Yeah.
such a young age, and I wonder what she's
Yeah.
gonna do.
Seriously, she's already accomplished so much in her starting
Yeah.
at age 11. It's only been what, 9 years?
Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
wonder if she'll end up being like a politician or something to try to
It's crazy.
have some
It's an
influence on.
it's amazing how they still have her on the Taliban still have her on their watch list. I mean, I'm like,
Yeah.
that is such a cowardly thing to do, and trying to just because she's for education. I don't get it.
It's just because they have a
Like
thing
goes
against
against
women.
everything that they want.
Yeah.
They don't want women to think.
Did you see
Yeah.
what she was studying at Oxford?
I didn't.
Philosophy, politics, and economics at Lady Margaret Hall.
So she probably
Wow.
will be a politician.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
She
I mean,
started.
being
Oh,
an
she
activist.
just started though, October 2017.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
She's got some time.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty impressive though. What a story.
Wow.
Hmm.
She actually began blogging for BBC in 2009. Hmm.
She started blogging for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
Is that
2009.
how they like why they decided to like the accident she had? Did
What do
they
you
target
mean?
her because
Well,
of
the
that?
accident she had was 2 years earlier. 20. No, no. She had it in 2012, right? Oh,
Uh,
that was 3 years earlier. Oh,
yeah, it
after
was in.
3 years after.
I can't remember. I just read that too. Um,
But
were you asking why she had the accident? Is that what you said?
No, I
yeah,
think Isabel is right. I mean, that contributed
I
to
mean they
that.
go ahead.
Sorry.
Like they targeted her because she was doing that writing.
Oh,
Oh,
Because
maybe.
she was doing that
that makes
blogging. I'm
sense.
pretty sure. I mean,
Well, did she start blogging after the bus accident
No, no,
or
I
the
don't
before,
bus?
3 years before. She started blogging in 2009, and the accident was in 2012.
Oh, wow.
because
Okay.
that was a murder attempt. That's what it says.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought they just targeted the school bus. I didn't realize they were actually going after
Mm-mm.
her.
Here,
Someone got on the bus and
this is on
actually asked,
Wikipedia. It
yeah.
says, as Malala became more recognized, the dangers facing her increased. Death threats against her were published in newspapers and slipped under her door.
Oh
On
my
Facebook,
gosh.
where she was an active user, she began to receive threats and fake profiles were created under her name. When none of this worked, a Taliban spokesman says they were forced to act. So that's when it says Taliban leaders unanimously agreed to kill her. So a gunman shot her as she rode home on a bus.
On the school bus, actually.
That
Yeah.
is, yeah, I remember the school bus part, but I totally thought I did not realize that was like,
Random.
yeah, I thought it was just a random like attack on a school bus.
I actually thought that too, that it was just a random thing until I read this, and I'm like, wow.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, they were so threatened by a what? You said she was born in 96?
97.
She was born in
97, like a
97.
15-year-old girl. They
So when
shot.
she was 12, she started blogging, and this little girl already knew
Yeah.
she was just going to do that. It was almost like she just gave up her life and just decided to take a chance.
Yeah,
That is insane.
That's
That is
brave.
so crazy that like the Taliban is so intimidated by a 15-year-old
Exactly.
15-year-old girl who's blogging.
well, I mean, it's
Oh,
kind of cool that it shows you the effect that just one person can have.
Can have.
seriously.
Yeah.
Wow. It's inspirational to know that someone who has gone through so much can still turn it around and make something positive out of it.
I know. And you think as a little girl, I mean, I guess she's just a big girl in a little girl's body,
Hmm.
because you would think after all the surgeries, reconstructing her face and stuff, she would, give up or even, but
She knows that's
she
what they'd want.
she I think she's done more than what as she grows, she keeps doing more and more. It's like
Mhm.
not even the limit for her. She
I
has
was
no
thinking about it,
limits.
and like, I mean, in that culture, I mean, women are not supposed to do that kind of thing, especially like the education and things. It's like
Hmm.
frowned upon for women. But like, how do they? I don't even know what word to use for that. Amazing that she has the motivation and the willpower to do what she's
Hmm.
doing, and she has the father who will support her
Yeah.
Exactly.
because
That's the
it's not
key.
common for a father to be
Yeah,
so supportive.
because I've heard quite a few stories. Even you hear it here in America, you know, people that migrate from there over here, like if a girl does otherwise, even their own family members can, as far as, punish them to the extent of even killing them.
Yeah.
That's because that's just disgraceful to the family. And, with that support, it makes her like what, 100 times stronger.
Mhm.
I read it I can't remember where exactly it was, but there is still some cultures today who, if there are so many like girls born into the family, they'll leave the like a newborn baby girl just for the wolves basically just because they want men.
Oh, it's so
That's so cruel, because how do you determine the girls are many? You get what I'm saying? And whose baby
Yeah,
goes? That's crazy.
it's super sad.
yeah.
It is.
Or that's like in some cultures where like honor killing is a thing,
What is that?
where if you disgrace your family,
Oh,
honor
They can
killing.
kill you.
I mean, it seems most of the time to happen to women. Like if they were to sleep with someone before marriage, that could
oh yeah.
cultures constitute dishonor on the family so much that they would get killed for
I feel
doing so.
like I could see that in in Indian like India cultures.
It's like in
Hmm.
it used to be in like Pakistan.
Hmm.
I don't
I could
know.
see that.
Yeah.
I was telling you guys that um, when we were talking about cultures and stuff, how in the town that I'm from, but there's a very high Indian population because we have actually in my town, Yuba City, they have the very first Sikh temple.
Mm.
So we got a lot of the Sikh religion, which is like East Indian. Um, and it's very common because of their culture. They're not supposed to eat beef. The cow is like sacred to them. Um,
Hmm.
but you see it how they're supposed to be vegetarians, and you often see that it's the women that have to follow the traditions and they cook. They use usually their garage for their kitchen. So you'll see a lot of garages in certain neighborhoods that are have couches and carpets, and they're very very vibrant colors. It almost reminds me of like in movies when you see Mexico or Greece, how everything's like super vibrant. Um, you see their garages are painted like that, but the men are allowed to eat meat. So it's
Hmm.
very weird how it's like the women are lower.
That double standard
Hmm. Yeah,
occurs in pretty
it's
much
very
every
common.
culture.
When I was in high school, I worked at a pizza place, and they would come in, and it was the women would order the vegetarian pizza, and the men would order like the all meat pizzas, and they would make you cook them in separate ovens.
How
They
interesting.
weren't allowed to mix them.
Wow. That's funny. I see if they're cooking the same ovens, the meat would jump onto the veg.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yep. And all the women, they would have to drink water, and the men would drink pitchers and pitchers and pitchers and pitchers of beer. It was like
Wow.
Blue Moon. That's what they loved, Blue Moon.
That's funny.
Yeah. It's just very different
Interesting.
cultures.
Yeah, that is very interesting. I mean, it's almost like it's deeper than what we see or hear.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if
That religion itself, because we have the very first temple, it's always the first weekend in November, so it just passed. But over 150,000 people travel to our little itty bitty tiny town for their annual. It's called the Sikh Festival, and they have like a huge festival where they come, and they have a parade that goes around, and it's very like a big, very sacred thing, but very
these are
cultural
like the
based.
Indians, the American Indians.
No. It's East Indian, like they're from India. They speak Punjabi.
Oh,
It's I mean, as Americans we pronounce it Sikh, but in the Punjabi language they pronounce it Sikh.
Sikh. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
religion, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I would have never known about it except I lived here. But you go anywhere and you speak to any like anyone who is from India, and they know where Yuba City is because that's where the main temple is.
Wow.
Yeah, it's different.
How did they end up there?
Honestly, I have no idea. It was like the first one. I don't know if it was in America or let me see. I could probably search it real quick.
Probably someone found it to be a safe haven and then let everyone else know about it.
Yeah, it was it does not really tell me much of it.
Wait, what city do you live in?
It's called Yuba City, Yuba.
What's the population?
Not sure. 64,925.
Okay.
I mean, it's not huge. We're known for Indians and peaches and rice farms. Yeah.
Yuba City, California, a city in California.
Yep. I'm in between I'm like 30 to 45 minutes north of Sacramento.
I know nothing about California. My sister lives in Los Angeles.
Yeah, that's like 8 hours from me. 8.5 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
So do you have warm weather then right now?
Let me see. Right now it would be considered cold. It's 55 degrees, but like on a normal day right now it's between like 58 and 70. It's not like
that's nice.
Cold, but
okay.
I mean, it's cold in the morning, take your sweater off in the afternoon and then put back on in the evening.
I mean, it's 20 degrees in Minnesota right now, so.
Oh yeah, Minnesota.
The only time I've wait, was it Minnesota? Is there a where's like one of the bigger airports in Minnesota?
Minneapolis.
Okay.
I mean,
Is there something called like the Twin Cities? Is that Minnesota?
Minneapolis and St. Paul are the Twin Cities.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I did have a layover there, and little California old me strolled into the airport in like the first week of December in yoga pants and flip flops. It was 2 degrees,
2 degrees.
two
Did you go
snowing.
outside?
I mean, the little tunnels that you walk through to get out of the plane to the airport are not
Oh,
warm.
yeah, it's really cold.
It's
Everyone was
really
looking
cold. I
at
mean,
me
it hits
like,
you.
girl, what are you doing? And I was like, hi, I'm Summer from California. Like, on my layover to New York.
Yeah, I'll
Everyone
say
in
that about
Minnesota is really friendly,
Californians.
though. At least.
What?
I said everyone in Minnesota is usually really friendly.
Oh, they were really friendly. Actually, that's where I still have a picture of it. In that airport, there is a thing where you can charge your cell phone, but in order to charge your cell phone, you have to walk on a treadmill.
Wait, really?
I'm not kidding.
I'm gonna look for that. I'm going to the airport tomorrow. I'm gonna keep an eye out.
Yeah. Oh, I have a picture. Let me see if I can find it. I was literally dying. Like, what is this?
We're People think that people up north are all fat and white. We're actually one of the healthiest cities. Like Minneapolis and St. Paul
No way.
are known as like one of the healthiest areas.
Really? Maybe
Yeah.
that's why they get on a.
I mean, it's different when you think of I live in St. Paul, which is the capital of Minnesota. Minneapolis and St. Paul are right next to each other. The further you go away from those, the more you get like just rednecks. I mean, it's like any state, if you
rednecks.
Any
that's
state,
that's
yeah.
where I'm from. Rednecks.
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that. Yeah, but 65,000 is not a very small town.
Really? I feel like that's
I grew up
we're
in a
like
suburb of Minneapolis that was 50,000, but it was like 10 minutes outside of Minneapolis.
oh yeah, no, we have. I mean, I feel like it's small, I guess, just because it's like
Compared to Houston, it's small.
yeah, I guess compared to like our surrounding cities, it's pretty small.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Houston, we're already in the millions.
Really?
City of
Oh my gosh.
Houston.
Oh man.
St. Paul is really small. I thought the population of the city that I live in is only 300,000.
Oh.
300,000?
Yeah, and that's our capital.
Oh my gosh.
And Minneapolis
Houston has 2.3 million. This is as of 2016.
That's insane.
Minnesota
That is
as a
insane.
whole has 5.52 million.
Oh, Minnesota, the whole state?
Yeah.
Ah, yeah, not Texas.
I mean, Minnesota is a pretty big state, but if you look at a
Yeah.
lot of it is like farmland.
There it is.
Yeah, it is. Texas has 27 million.
And California has 39.
Oh, wow.
Million?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when you get into how many is in Texas?
27.
27.8.
Yeah, it's because you get into like San Francisco and LA and all of those.
All overly populated.
Yeah. Okay,
I live on the outskirts of Houston.
I don't know if you're going to be able to see us. Can you see that picture?
It says walkway.
Yeah,
Free.
okay.
It says walkway.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so it's a thing that there's someone standing in there on their treadmill walking.
I'm going to do that.
To charge their phone. Yeah.
Awesome. That's why we're the healthiest city.
It says, welcome to Walkway, free walking, device charging, internet access, complimentary use. And there's someone standing in there, like their own little cubicle, just like walking away.
Oh, wow.
As there's snow falling everywhere. Yeah, it was a really nice airport, but it was cold.
The city I live in Houston, because I live right outside of Houston, which is Richmond, it says here there's only 12,000. I doubt it. As of 2016, population is 12,000.
That's really small.
It's small. It's really small. It is really small.
Let me see how. Oh yeah. Okay. So my neighboring city is called Sutter, which is It's literally all rice fields. Their the population as of 2010 census was 2,904, up from
Oh my.
2,885.
They're growing.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
literally known for their rice fields, like, and that's like maybe 5 minutes out of my town. So I guess I live in like
Wow.
the bigger city, but it's yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, back to Malala.
Back to
Meanwhile,
Malala.
we're going talking about our like crazy census, and she's like, "Can we just get this education for this 130 million girls?"
Hmm.
Okay, so I did look up Miss Elizabeth and can't remember the girl's name. Lemaya.
Lima.
Lema.
Lima.
There you go.
Hmm.
She was the Liberian. Am I saying that right?
Liberian.
Liberian.
Liberian
They
peace
like
activist.
Liberia. Like the LIB is like library.
Hmm.
Um,
Or if you've heard of Iberia, you can just add the L.
Yeah.
oh, I have heard of Iberia.
Yeah.
Um, she, I didn't hear that. I'm sorry, Lila.
Oh no, no, we were still talking about Iberia and Liberia. Sorry.
Oh yeah, no, you're fine.
Hmm.
Um, okay, so she was leading a women's peace movement, Women of Liberia Mass Action for Peace, that helped bring an end to the Second Liberian Civil War in 2003. And then she made an effort to usher a period of peace and enabled a free election in 2005. Um, and then her and her two collaborators, Ellen and I can't even say this name, Tawakkul, were awarded the 2011 Nobel Peace Prize for their nonviolent struggle for the safety of women and for women's rights to full participation in peace building work. Oh, she wears one of those cute little head wraps. I don't know what they're called. That sounds horrible, but it's I love them. They're so cute.
Nice.
She also has a documentary.
Oh.
Um,
And a book.
yes. Oh, the book is based on the movie.
Mighty Be Our Powers.
Oh no, this is different.
I'm just reading something here how they had it says right here Lima was appointed its spokesperson, I think, for an organization that they formed and led the women in weeks long public protests that grew to include thousands of committed participants. Lima led the Women of Liberia Mass Action for Peace participants in public protests that forced Liberia's ruthless then President Charles Taylor, oh yeah, that president was very ruthless, to meet with them and agree to take part in a formal peace talks in Ghana. She led a delegation of women to Accra, where they applied strategic pressure to ensure progress was made at a crucial moment when the talks seemed stalled. Lima and nearly 200 women formed a human barricade to prevent Taylor's representatives and the rebel warlords from leaving the meeting hall for food or any other reason until the women demanded the men reach a peace agreement. Oh, wow.
Um,
They used themselves as a human barricade.
That
I
documentary
wonder.
is no it's called stupid Pray the Devil Back to Hell.
Oh
If that is
wow.
not an intimidating title, I don't know what is.
It is. Yeah. That's a very intimidating one.
And it's about the
Pray the devil back to hell.
yeah.
Oh my.
It's a documentary about the women of Liberia Mass Action for Peace, which
Mm-hmm.
she was the social worker, the leader.
Mm-hmm.
Where did you say that your dad was from, Lola?
Ghana.
Ghana. Okay, I thought so.
Yeah. Ghana is like what, 2 countries away from Liberia on in West Africa.
I think I actually know where that is.
That's interesting to know.
Oh, did you know that their movement led to the election of Ellen Johnson Sirleaf in Liberia, and she was the first, oh, that is the first African nation with a female president.
Oh wow.
That's pretty cool.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah. That's, I mean, the film has been used as an advocacy tool in post-conflict zones like Sudan, mobilizing African women to petition for peace and security. Yeah. And
I didn't know Sirleaf was the first woman president in Africa. Wow.
yeah. She was also a she was a collaborator with what's this girl's name? Lema.
Hmm. Wow.
I think it's cool how it says like how she ended up getting involved in everything. Here, wait.
Yeah. She has a master's degree in peace building.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was, how she got involved was she learned about that program run by UNICEF, training people to be social workers who would then counsel those traumatized by war. Because after that
Wow.
3 month training, it led her to be aware of her own abuse at the hands of the father of her children. So it's cool, like her doing that training. She didn't even, I mean, some people grow up thinking that abuse is a normal thing. And that wasn't until that she really learned
Wow.
that she was being abused.
Imagine that, that you're a leader and then you find yourself in that same position that you're trying to help others run from or get away from, and then you find yourself in that same position.
Yeah.
The other girl, Elizabeth, I'm gonna have to figure out how to say her last name.
Elizabeth, what is it? Elizabeth Niamayaro.
Niamaniara. She's
That's
a
that's how
political
I would pronounce it.
scientist,
I'm looking it up.
Wow.
and she's an executive director for the UN Women.
A political son.
Wow. Takes a spin. She is the head of He for She, which is a movement founded by UN Women to empower all humans, especially men and boys, to have a voice and take action to achieve gender equality in their own lifetime. That's different.
Wow.
It's important to teach men and boys about equality and accepting the idea of it because it's harder for them to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she has a TED talk called an invitation to men who want a better world for women.
Interesting. I'd like
Yeah.
to. I love listening to TED Talks.
So do I. I totally watch them in my spare time.
Yeah, they're good.
I remember one of the we always had to listen to a TED talk for a discussion.
She also went to Harvard Business School and
Yeah.
the London School of Economics, which is like top
Really
tier,
hard to get into. Yeah.
like one of the best schools.
Where did she go to school at?
The London School of Economics
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Oh yeah.
and Harvard.
Notting Hill Gate, London School of Economics and Political Science. Yeah, 'cause she was gonna say she's a political scientist.
Also,
Oh, Emma Watson is the face of her He for She movement.
I saw her picture in her profiles, and I'm like, what is she doing there?
Yeah.
Because Emma is the Hollywood actress, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
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 That's funny.
She also used to work for one of the largest pharmaceutical companies in the world, Merrick.
I saw that. Was kind of interesting.
Hmm.
It goes to show how women have such power, if only they can get all the help they need, or if there were no restrictions, because you'd be surprised. Like, I think even here in America, I would say, um, I don't even know if we are ready for a woman president. Sometimes I think, not to be political, but it's almost like until you actually take action somewhere, then you realize a lot of people, you hear a lot of people say, oh yeah, equality, 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 but until you get there, you realize it's a very hard struggle between men,
Mm-hmm.
women, in position. I mean, look at America, for instance. It's still there. They talk about equality, but trust me,
They're not really ready
it's
for
still
it.
Yeah, they are not ready for it at all.
Apparently, Africa
At
was.
all. Yeah, corporate America, they are not ready. I mean, like there's one of these TV shows that I watched. What is it? Is it Seven? What is it? It's a reality show about. Is it Seven Bells? I don't know.
I don't
The
watch.
guy. I don't know if you guys. The one with the guy was running for Senate. What's his name? It's a reality show, and they're in Charlotte. I mean, is it North Carolina?
Charlotte is, I think, North Carolina.
I'm looking it up.
Yeah, I forgot, but on the show, I was
Southern
surprised
Charm.
to hear this lady. She's like, huh? I think it's Southern Charm.
Okay, I've never seen it.
Is it Southern? Oh,
Mm.
yeah. The lady. I mean, I was surprised. She kept saying when Hillary was running for the president, she's like, what would a woman want to do in an office anyway? Your place is the kitchen. I was surprised she said that. In this
Well,
age, I'm like,
not in my
people still
kitchen. You
think
don't
that.
want to eat my food.
She's,
I actually,
she actually said, why don't you just want to sit at home and look pretty and you run for the president? It's a man's job. And I'm like, what?
my
I was
freshman year of
surprised though. I
college
guess
was
that's still her.
my freshman year of college was in 2012, and I remember like it was right at the start of the school year, and all of us had just turned 18, and we had all kind of just met, and this one girl all of a sudden was just like, well, women, we were talking about equality, and I don't know how this came. She was just like, well, women just aren't as smart as men, so they shouldn't even get to vote. And I'm like,
What?
you're a woman.
Can
I
you
was-
go back to like in 1920, please?
Yes, and this was an 18-year-old woman saying this, and I
Oh
was just
man.
What
appalled.
hole
And
did she crawl from?
the panhandle of Florida.
All right, well, as a woman, I am making the executive decision to take her ability to vote away. Get out.
Because if anything, I think if anything, women can handle, women are able to really, really, when we say multitask, they can handle pressure and get it together, you
Uh-huh.
know, and do a lot of things. It's a choice. If you don't want to vote, it's a choice. It's a choice if you, I love cooking. It's not because I'm a woman. That's a hobby. I would rather do cooking than go play a sport. I love sports too, but than go
Lots of men
fishing.
that like to cook. I mean,
Exactly.
Emerald,
My dad loves
hello.
to cook, by the way. I learned cooking from my dad. So my thing is, I mean, I think we do more than if given the will and the power, we
yeah.
would definitely rule the world in a better way.
I would have to agree.
Seriously.
Hmm. Did you guys ever see, speaking of Emma Watson, the speech that she gave at the UN?
Uh-uh.
Um,
It was like,
I was it wasn't at the UN. She did a video with Malala, right?
yeah, but
Okay.
a few years ago, Emma Watson like spoke at the UN,
Which one is Emma Watson? The girl that
and
in
now I'm just
Harry Potter?
learning that her speech was for the He for She campaign.
Oh, got it.
I found this article that says it's about Elizabeth Knight. I don't know how to say her last name either, but it says meet the woman behind Emma Watson's viral feminism campaign. And it's
She's this one, Lola.
Oh yeah, that's the one from the Harry Potter movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
She's she is also from Oxford. So I wonder if that's how her and Malala somehow linked.
yeah.
Hmm.
Kind of weird. Her school is called Dragon School.
Whose school?
Who's
Emma's,
school?
Emma Watson's theater school is called Dragon School. Interesting.
Hmm.
She's only worth 60 million. No big deal.
Just give me 500,000 or a million of that.
Not
Yeah,
even.
that's fine. Oh man, one day I'll get there.
At work, sometimes I see all these Indian women and Indian men, and I wonder how the Indian men feel seeing the women working there, right? Because in the IT field, you find a lot of Indians.
hmm
One lady, she's
Indians
the
or
manager.
Asians do a
Yeah,
lot too.
yeah.
Well, and then there's the
There are a
difference
lot of.
between someone that like grew up in the United States but is still of Indian heritage,
hmm
someone that
Mm-hmm.
actually grew up in India and came over here, and they're probably the ones that are seeing that and being really shocked by it.
Culture shock.
Yeah, whereas someone of Indian heritage that grew up in the United States wouldn't be as surprised to see a woman. But yeah, that would.
My former boss is like that. My former boss, he was actually born in Africa, and then he was born in Uganda, and then his family
I had a
migrated to Canada because Uganda at the time they let all the non-Africans leave the country. And he had never been to India in all his 54 years. So that when he went to India for the first time and he came back and telling us the story, the culture, he's like, I went there and my workers have drivers. I don't even have a driver. And I pay for them to have drivers and mill guys. And people who do stuff for them, they're real bosses over there. I don't get anybody to do anything for me in America. I'm like, because they will look at you weird. He's like, yeah, that's waste of money. So it happens. You're right. When the ones that grow up here or in Canada, totally different from the ones over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a teacher who was she did, I don't want to say it was ministry work, but she did some kind of helping in Uganda, and so she lived a lot of her life there. And I remember she would like share stories and stuff about how because she was a white woman when she first went over there, they're like, "Give us money," and she's like, "I ain't got no money. Like, you give me money."
Mm-hmm. Give me money. Yeah. Wow, these women have done, some courageous stuff, standing up to people that they especially Malala. I'm just in awe in, you know, how young she started, you know. I wish we all had a voice like that, whether it's
I
here or
think.
everywhere in the world.
Mm-hmm.
I think we can just conquer all the Talibans with that.
I would agree. That
On
would be
Malala's
nice to see.
profile, it says the extremists were and they are afraid of books and pens. The power of education frightens them. They are afraid of women. Cowards then.
Yeah, I don't know anybody afraid of pins, but there's all different kinds of fears.
I guess in their mind, if you educate a woman, I guess if you educate a woman, the potential of educating the world is bigger than educating a man,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Because a woman definitely educates or other kids versus a man may not. I guess that's the idea. I really wish people weren't so afraid of the Taliban's and then, they would help women stand up to them. That would just defeat them. No weapons.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Malala had every reason to want to stop education. I mean, especially
Mm-hmm.
with threatening letters. And I would like to see how many people that were on that bus that made it out, how many continued their education.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Malala is a rare case of someone who continued on. And, I mean, obviously it affected her, but she didn't let it phase her and, further her education and further her
Mm-hmm.
movement. I'm just curious to see how many other people that were. She talks about her friends in one of the videos when she's speaking, receiving the Nobel Peace Prize. She has her friends in the audiences, and I feel like maybe one or two of them were on the bus with her.
I think you're right.
But I would assume that there was probably more people on a school bus. So I'm curious. I wonder if there's anything that relates to
I
that.
know it said two other girls got hurt.
Yeah, but how many
On her
people were
biography
scared for their
were on the
life?
bus.
Right.
Yeah, all of them because that's crazy. I'd be scared too.
Well, we have a few more minutes left to chat.
Have you guys looked um, for? I know that there's a couple other things that's due this week, but as far as like the final projects, I'm not really. I haven't.
I'm very behind right now, I'll be honest. I've
Me too.
had a
Do you
rough.
know on the do you know what I found out on those projects? If you do one and let's say you're going on to the module 2, I think starting from module 3, he actually literally tells you to copy 1 and 2 into 3, and then in 4 copy 1, 2 and 3 into 4 and then do
Mhm.
4. That's what, so you do the third one and then you copy one and two into it. It's almost like repetitive. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Summer,
but
have you gotten some of your stuff graded? Because it seems he hasn't graded a lot of stuff.
I haven't gotten the two last meetings. Those have not been graded.
Okay.
I was slightly behind with this last week just because we've had so much going on at work. I've been working like 60-hour weeks.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I've been like the last couple days I've been just trying to knock as much out as I can. I'm still really behind on these worksheets. That's what I need. That's my goal between tomorrow and Friday is to get all of those done because I have not been turning those in. Um, but he mentions this week at the end he talks about where is it? The 12-week plan. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so that's when you do it's for final project 2 and it says find a way to organize them, but I'm not really sure what you're supposed to do with them. Because it says, I'll be asking you to create a document of your own, which incorporates all of this material sorted into a different order according to topics and themes of your choosing. But I'm not really sure like what you're supposed to do with it.
Yeah, that's why I was confused too. I'm not sure. Um,
And then I have no idea what the other final is because I mean I haven't really looked at that. The final project 1.
oh, we have a final project one.
Well, I was just looking at on the what's it called? The grades, like the grading stuff. And if you
Mm-hmm.
scroll down, some of the things that have to be graded is final project 1, and it says 360-degree questions. Click here to submit your document, and then it says final project 2, which is the 12-week plan.
Hmm.
So it says, and
What
then
is it? 6 point. What is it? You're looking at the grade.
I'm just looking at where I click on my grades, and then you scroll down to the bottom of things that he hasn't, that are not due and have not been graded yet. Um, preliminary draft of final project 2, 12-week plan. I think that's what's due this week. And then it says 360-degree question activity complete prior to writing up your final project 1. That's before, right? Prior?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Before is prior.
I don't know why that just confused me when I read that. I was like, wait, what? So I'm not really sure. And then the extra credit, Selma, which I probably should make time to do that. I just feel so behind.
I am.
You're not the only one.
Oh.
I just turned in the activity for those 2 last week on those. I struggled with that so bad reading the gift. Like I was like dictionarying words and like, please explain to
Mhm.
me what this means. I don't get it.
That quiz took me forever too. When you had to like
I
go
haven't submitted mine yet. So
Which quiz?
last week's. I mean,
Uh,
all of them have taken me like at least an hour.
oh yeah. Well, yeah. He says that they're designed to take like an hour, and then but they're up to like 5 hours or something, which I've never taken that long.
No,
I
but
mean, I
it,
think
yeah,
the longest one was like 2 hours, and I'm pretty sure that I made something to eat in between. So,
I have, and then I slept through it, and then I woke up and the thing was over.
oh, I
oh
remember
no.
that. That's such a bummer.
That's the one. Remember that one?
Oh, I
Yeah,
do remember that.
I know, and I had to go back and do it again, so it's still pending to be graded. I had
Yeah.
17 out of like what 20 questions. I just slept.
Oh no, that's so rough.
I
It
know.
happens, oh girl, it happens.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Um, yeah, I still have quite a few things that need to be graded. One, two, three, four. Oh, my discussion board for Ubuntu. That was last week, right? Yeah,
Hmm.
that still hasn't been graded. Um,
It's been graded?
no, has not been graded.
Oh, it's not. Okay.
No. And then the co-mentoring,
I think everything
that's
from
2 weeks
4.
ago.
Yeah, he
Hmm.
still hasn't graded that.
Mm-mm.
Okay. I hope he's okay though.
Yeah, I'm not. I know that he mentioned something about oral surgery that had gone bad or
That
something
was
happened.
weeks
Oh,
ago, though.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't
I mean,
really know
yeah, hopefully he's
how
okay.
many classes he's teaching too.
Yeah.
yeah. I hope he's okay.
Um, there's something else I was going to ask about, but oh, the 360-degree leadership awards that he is for this week.
Yeah.
Have you guys looked at those?
I just looked at it as I was pulling this all up tonight.
Mhm.
I was curious as to the one that says best meme or multimedia post. Have we done that?
I don't know. I was looking at it too. I was like, I don't
I'm
know.
pretty sure all of our discussion board posts have been like essay format, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I only missed one, but even then that was just all questions, so I don't know.
You missed that discussion?
Which discussion?
You missed one.
I did miss
I
one. I missed the blue book. The latitudes one, blue latitudes. Wait, is that the one I
Just
missed?
so you know, you get extra credit for doing this 360-degree nomination, so it's not required.
Well, as far behind as I am, I'm pretty sure I can take all the extra credit I can get. So I will be doing it. um, but I don't even know where to look for that one because I don't know any that we've done multimedia posts from.
I don't either.
So I'm not really sure.
Mm.
I'm glad I'm not the only one struggling with this class.
It's a lot of writing.
Rites of passage. Just kidding. That was the one I didn't do.
That writing sucked.
Yeah.
I did
Something
not
about
like.
these books that he's making us read. I'm struggling. I am so struggling.
Yeah, it's tough.
I can't do that like old style writing or like so
Hmm.
formal that you need a dictionary at your hand at all times.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, we're at an hour.
Okay. I'm traveling back to Houston tomorrow.